Madam Chair, we're live.
Thank you. I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is a regular meeting of the Baldwin Park Planning Commission for November 12th, 2025 at 7:10. I apologize for our late start. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Rodriguez, will you lead us in the flag salute?
If I could have everybody stand.
Thank you. We'll start with roll call. Planning Secretary, will you please roll call?
Yes, thank you. Vice Chair Miranda DeZib,
Present.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Here.
Commissioner Arias. And let the record reflect that Chair Escobosa and Commissioner Peña are absent.
Do I have a motion to excuse Chair Escobita and Commissioner Peña?
I motion to excuse.
Negative. Second. All in favor? Do
Well,
we do roll call?
I'll go ahead and do
Okay,
roll
thank
call. Vice Chair Miranda DeZib,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
and Commissioner Arias. Motion carries.
Thank you. Oral communications. I now declare oral communications open. Anyone wishing to address the commission on anything other than the items listed on the agenda may come to the podium, take a number, and we'll call speakers in numerical order. We'll restrict your comments to 3 minutes. No one? See no further interest. I'll now declare oral communication closed. We'll move on to number 3, the consent calendar. One item on the consent calendar is the meeting minutes from the previous Planning Commission meeting. Would any commissioner like to pull this item for discussion? None. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of October 8th, 2025 on the consent calendar?
I will motion to approve the action minutes from October 8th, 2025.
I will second.
Vice Chair Miranda DeZib,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
and Commissioner Arias, you were not present, so I don't believe you can vote on this one, but still with a 2 vote, we have a motion that carries.
Thank you. With that, we'll move on to number 4, public hearing. The only case on the agenda is a request for consideration of a zoning variance, ZV 26-04, to allow deviations from RG Garden Multifamily Residential Zone for the front, rear, and side setback requirements, as well as a private open space requirement. The variance would facilitate the conversion of an adaptive reuse of an existing 3,459 square foot vacant commercial building into 3 dwelling units and 1 ADU. The location is 14650 Pacific Avenue. The applicant Anju Gupta, and the case number is ZV25-04. Thank you.
Good evening, Honorable Vice Chair and Commissioners. I'm here to present on the agenda for a zoning variance, a design review, and an accessory dwelling unit located at 14650 Pacific Avenue. The applicant is Anuj Gupta, and the project involves the conversion and adaptive reuse of an existing 3,459 square foot commercial building, which will include 3 apartment units and 1 accessory dwelling unit.
Sorry to interrupt. If we could please have the presentation shown on screen, please.
Nick, are you not seeing the screen?
No, there's no presentation showing on screen. There we are. Oh.
Okay, thank you. For the zoning variance, the zone is located within our garden multifamily residential. Which the specific variance request would be for the front, rear, side setbacks, as well as the deviation from the requirements for private open space. For the design review, we are requesting the conversion of the existing commercial structure into residential and adding an accessory dwelling unit. Next slide, please. As you can see, the subject site is part of the garden multifamily residential per our zoning map. Next slide, please. And this is just an aerial view of the location and its surroundings. And it's just for context. Next slide, please. As you can see, the current site, this is the view of the street view. It's currently parking in the front. The commercial unit is towards the back. It was previously occupied by a physician's office, which has been vacant since July of 2020. Since then, the site has been was previously commercial, and because it was rezoned to garden, multifamily garden, it's no longer compliant with the current zoning. Next slide, please. So given the site's condition and configuration, full compliance to meet the new residential components would require the deviation for the zoning standards. And as you can see, the surrounding sites are mostly residential. To the north, it's also garden multifamily with single family residential homes. To the east, it is single family residential zoning with single family homes. To the south is the Dalton Wash, and to the west is residential single family homes. Next slide, please. And this is just the existing and the proposed site layout. To the left is the existing. As you can see, it's parking, and the structure is to the left is the wash, and to the right is the single family residential. Next slide, please. This is existing floor plan where it used to be the doctor's office. And next slide, please. This is the layout for the 4 units. The units to the right are 2-bedroom units. The 3rd unit in the middle is a 1-bedroom with a den, and the last unit to the left is the ADU, also a 1-bedroom unit. Next slide, please. These are the elevations. As you could see from the top, it's the existing view, and then the middle is the proposed elevations, with the bottom is the colored rendering of how it will it'll still keep the brick exterior that it currently has. It's just replacing the size of the windows to make it more of a residential window and residential doors instead of the commercial door. Next slide, please. This slide is just the other side, the west side, with the back showing that it's going to be where the private open space is located with their windows, and it's going to be stucco, a tan colored stucco. Next slide, please. This is the carports, the elevations, and the location of the carports that would be located towards the front, which is what we're asking for a zoning variance to allow for the carports to be located towards the entrance with a 0 setback. Next slide, please. As you can see, these are the required development standards and what they are proposing. For the front yard, they are requesting the required is 15 foot, but we are requesting 0 because to accommodate for the parking. For the side, it requires 10 feet, but on the wash side, it has 0, and on the residential, it's 4 feet 10 inches. Because it is an existing site, we're asking for that deviation in the standards. For private open space, they are required to provide 200 square feet. They're currently providing 147 square feet. For the reason that building is requiring for them to have access for fire, that reduced the required private open space. If that wasn't a requirement, they would be meeting the required 200 square foot. Next slide, please. So because it is a conversion of an existing space, it is exempt by CEQA under new construction or conversion of small structures. Next slide, please. So staff recommends that the approval of resolution PC 2520, finding up to approve zoning variance 2504, design review 2526, and accessory dwelling unit 2536, and finds the proposed project is exempt from CEQA pursuant to CEQA guideline section 15303, class 3, subsection B. At the time of the resolution that was given to you, we did intend to include a condition that required that the existing pole sign must be removed prior to certificate of occupancy. We did update the resolution to that was given to you at the beginning, so that's a new condition that will be added for your approval. And this concludes my presentation. If you have any questions.
Yeah, I have a few questions. Could you explain a little bit more about the multifamily or the garden multifamily residential zone? What exactly it is?
It's just it's a zone that allows for more that higher density. So R1 would be single family, general gardens like medium density, where you are allowed to have apartments. It's not only limited to single family. You could do duplexes and other
Okay,
development.
thank you. And in the I've only been on the commission for a short time, but how many I say in the past 5 years, how many zoning variances have we allowed or proposed?
I don't have that number with me.
Follow up to that question is it specific to residential projects or just in general?
I think to residential. That'd be my question.
To residential, to our knowledge, there was another site few years back that was requesting a variance because it was an irregular site. So it was like how would I describe it? Triangular shaped. It was close to the 10 freeway. And that one was considered again because the site was irregular, so it wasn't going to be able to meet the development standards as it was.
Mhm.
At the time, the planning commission did recommend or did follow staff's recommendation for approval based on those existing conditions.
Okay, thank you. And lastly, notices were sent out to those surrounding residents, correct?
Yes, that's correct. They were sent pursuant to timelines.
Thank you.
I noticed that it said that there would necessitate significant demolition and reconstruction. And so I'm just wondering why the current plan can't be modified to meet the standards without that.
To accommodate for parking and the location of the site, if it would reduce the number of parking that is required per unit, they need to provide at least 2 parkings, one covered and one not covered. And if we're already reducing the number of parking on site to accommodate for the private open space and for the public open space. I believe we're removing 2 parking spaces. So if we deviate, if we have to meet those standards, we would be reducing the parking requirement as greater than what's already proposed. So because it's an existing site, it would just be easier to modify the current site then.
And I'll also add to that point as well. So part of the request is on one side from the applicant's end to preserve the existing facade and, in facilitate adaptive reuse of the site, which is something that, would create a lower barrier to entry for these types of projects. Another reason to my colleague Yadira's point is the parking makeup for the site. It is compliant with the current residential standards. So when she's specifying removal of parking, we're talking about the existing commercial parking spaces. So the site is still compliant with residential parking standards. If anything, they're actually providing more parking for the residential component per the code. Removal of parking is related to, again, the improvements that need to be made for the private open space components that are required per the code.
My other question is actually regarding the parking. So am I correct in that the parking is going to be placed in the front? Okay, so because of that, is there going to be any sort of like landscaping or screening for the carports to mitigate the visual impacts for the surrounding neighbors?
So here, the site's a little unique to where it's recessed a little bit into the property. You can kind of see it if you go back to the slide for the street view. There's a slope that you have to kind of go over with respect to the driveway apron. So the property is a bit inset, or recessed down into a different grade than the street view. So it's already screened, just by how it's kind of developed right now. And there's already existing parkway areas that, will be, enhanced to provide that safety barrier. But the site conditions themselves already lend themselves to be less visible, because again, it's recessed
Is
in.
that- Okay. And then explain to me, so the other thing I noticed that kind of stood out was the side yard setback where the minimum code is 10 feet and the proposal only have 4 feet, 10 inches. How would that affect surrounding neighbors or the project itself?
Affect them in noise or
So because we have a minimum of
Mm.
10 feet and when we're not even, the proposal is not even half of that, what would be I guess the downfalls of that, or would that have any significance on any of the neighbors? Like, would that be less like a visual for maybe the neighbors to the north?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind commenting on that. So, so talking about the side yard setbacks. So the neighbor to the south, it's a flood control channel, so there's not really concern there. To the north, you're looking at that 4'10". That's essentially what we have for the minimum for single family residential. We allow 5. Most of the folks in town enjoy a 5-foot setback with their single family residential house. So this would be nearly on par with that. And then that is one of the requests. Staff is finding that
Got
to
it.
be a reasonable request. There's still plenty of distance to provide access through, so it's a safety will be preserved in that with that. But you're right. It is less than what the standard is for multiple family, but it's still a decent amount.
But not uncommon.
Yes.
And then I guess just the last question is, were neighbors in the surrounding area notified that this,
yes,
did we get any comments from
no
them?
comments.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay. So thank you. At this point, we will move on to open public hearing. If there are no further questions of staff, I now declare the public hearing open. There's public testimony? Do I go into that or not yet?
Well, typically at this time we would have the applicant speak on the
Okay,
project.
thank you.
Good evening. I'm Myung-Jung Lee. I'm an architect for this project. First of all, thanks Yadira for explaining this project very well. And then I would be happy to answer any question or concern from today's presentation.
No questions from the commissioners.
Okay.
Is there anything you'd like to share about the project?
Basically, let me explain about the parking. I mean, the side yard setback modification. So our goal is try to minimize the impact to the neighbor from this construction. So that with that said, we try to just remodel this project instead of doing any addition with expanding the project. So obviously you only have a 4 feet 10 inches side yard setback, but the thing is that is not a major circulation for the tenants. All the tenants major access from the front, and then only this side setback with a 4 feet 10 inch will be used as kind of fire emergency access. So from the neighbor, they're not gonna see many circulation from this through the side yards.
Thank you. Anything else? Other questions? Okay, thank you.
Right, thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience wishing to testify in the matter, either for or against? So I guess at this time we'll ask for a motion. Is there a motion? I'm sorry, I'm going to close the public hearing. I think I forgot to do that last time as well. Is there a motion for this project?
I will motion.
Thank you.
I will, yes, I am motioning to approve the project with staff's recommendation and the additional conditions in the resolution. And a categorical exemption.
And is there a second? Thank you. Roll call, please.
Vice Chair Miranda the Zip,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
and Commissioner Arias. Motion carries.
Thank you. The Planning Commission has voted to adopt Resolution PC 25-20 approving ZV 25-04, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Baldwin Park adopting the findings of facts and approving the request for consideration of a zoning variance ZV 25-04 to allow deviations from RG Garden Multifamily Residential Zone for the front, rear, and side setback requirements, as well as a private open space requirement to facilitate the conversions and an adaptive reuse of an existing 3,459 square foot vacant commercial building into 3 dwellings and 1 ADU, a location at 14650 Pacific Avenue. And with that, we'll move on to number 5, non-public hearing items. There are none. And 6, report of officers. We will introduce our new planning commissioner.
Yes, at this time, I'd like to, I'm sure you have noticed, we have a new face on the dais. We're joined by Commissioner Benny Arias. Thank you for joining us.
Penny, do you want to tell us a little about yourself?
Got it. My name is Benny Arias. I've lived here for 28 years, usually on that side of the planning commissions. I figured I'd be on this side for once, so it's a learning opportunity for me on various aspects, so I'm glad to be here.
Oh, welcome.
I'd also like to take a moment to thank our fill-in city attorney, Ivy Sai. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Number 7 is the commission staff communication.
No communications.
Okay. And then adjournment. If there are no further comments by the commission, I'll accept a motion for adjournment.
A motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Roll call or all in favor?
We'll do a roll call.
Okay.
Vice Chair Miranda Zip,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
and Commissioner Arias. Motion carries.
Thank you. We are adjourned at 7:34 p.m. Thank you.